Everyone's talking about AI agents like they're the future of business, but most small businesses don't need an army of futuristic robots to take over their business by doing every task imaginable. They need something much more practical, a system that stops leads from slipping through the cracks, follows up automatically, and keeps work moving when you're busy. As you start to understand that, you see AI agents differently. They're going to be less as hype machines and more of a way to fix bottlenecks that are quietly just killing your business. In this video, I'm going to demystify AI agents by tackling 4 key areas: what they actually are, what they can do, how to set them up in your business, and then ultimately how to scale them. Because right now, AI has become this big, vague idea. If you watch enough YouTube videos, you'd think you can build a business where AI does everything for you, makes money while you sleep, and you barely have to touch it, which it sounds great, but it's not really helpful. And honestly, it's why a lot of business owners feel so skeptical about it in the first place, because these get rich with AI videos don't reflect reality and they make it harder to trust what's actually useful. As it is with all things, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. AI is really powerful, but it's not going to be magic. Where it actually supports is in very specific areas, things like misleads, slow response times, and admin work, for example. And the word I use really particularly there is support, because I'm not here to tell you AI will automate your entire business. I want to show you how, if you use it in very key specific areas, you can serve your customers better and take work off your plate while remaining in control of the actual end product. What even are AI agents? Because when I first found out about them, I needed somebody to describe it to me. So I went back and found that same description that helped. And it was from Google, saying that AI agents are software systems that use AI to pursue goals and complete tasks on behalf of their users, which differs a lot from how individuals currently view AI. When you think about it, you think of it as an automation tool, which I'm going to challenge that thought entirely, because I like to think of automation as a checklist, because at the end of the day, it's just a rigid set of rules that the AI has to follow, and you've already set out in front of it. You've decided what it needs to do, the time it needs to do them, and then it just follows the order. Meanwhile, an AI agent is more like an employee, because it's going to have to be flexible to complete the task that you've put in front of it. The agent itself is different because it's designed to interpret a goal, not just the steps it needs to follow. Instead of only executing that fixed set of sequences, it can look at the current situation, decide what makes sense, and then adjust along the way. There's a couple kind of tangible ways that AI agents can help inside of all kinds of different businesses that folks are using every day. The first being lead response, because right now you might have a lead who fills out a form on your website. Maybe you see it 20 minutes after they submit it. Maybe it's 2 hours because you're just busy. And then you're going to have to send a response. And honestly, it's probably generic because it takes so much time. You're going to ask a few questions, wait, and then half the time, maybe they've already moved on and somebody responded quicker. But through the AI agent, you have a second lead comes in. It automatically is going to respond. It references what they submitted in the email. It's going to ask some follow-up questions that you've designed to whether it qualifies them in real time. If they're going to be a good fit, it moves them straight to the booking funnel. And if not, it's going to filter them out, because ultimately that helps you not just be faster, but you're having more relevant conversations immediately with the client. Another example that's being used in a lot of service-based businesses comes from a post-job follow-up. Because before, a job gets done and then really nothing happens. No follow-up takes place, no review request, no upsell. But if you do it, it's going to be manual and it's probably inconsistent based on the amount of time you have to dedicate to that. But if you afterwards implement an AI agent, once the job is marked complete, it just takes over. It's going to send that personalized follow-up. It immediately asks for that review, and then it can suggest another service that's going to accommodate that upsell. It's really eliminating the invisible work that comes with it. That is the type of time savings and genuine possibility that has pushed AI to the forefront of many business owners' minds, because who wouldn't want it? However, businesses large and small all began AI initiatives that ultimately ended up costing them large amounts of time and even more money with very little in return. And the truth is, it's because they hopped in without really thinking it through. Because if you think about it, AI only stretches as far as that process you have defined lets it. If you have a bad process for, let's say, lead response, because we talked about it earlier, if that's a hectic process, it's not very structured, and you just plug AI into it, it's just going to amplify the noise of that process, because AI at its purest form is an amplification system. It amplifies the amount of work you can do in a given day, but if you plug it into a bad process, it creates so much unnecessary noise if you don't have the proper guardrails in place for it. Something that happens is that businesses get burnt out, because the moment they start using AI, they start overusing it, meaning that they see all the processes within their business that want to improve that they don't really like. They just take AI, throw it at it, and say, hopefully this solves the problem. And this really reminds me of the concept that if you try to be good at everything, you end up being great at nothing, because when it comes to improving processes within your business, it's important to find a singular area of which you believe you can gain an improvement, work diligently on to really understand that process, all the current bottlenecks around it, and then ultimately the strategy you have to solve that problem. As much of a fan of AI as I am, I can admit that the business that you're in, depending on the stage of growth or the activities that you already do, it might not be a necessary tool for you to have today. For example, if you're a small business that's working to carve out a name for yourself and build within the market you have, I'd recommend being very thoughtful about how you actually utilize AI, because at that stage, I'm a firm believer that being as close as you can to every part of the business is a superpower. Not just the customers, but the vendors, the other business owners in your area. These are the type of connections that often make the difference of your business growing or failing, is having that interpersonal connection with the folks and the customers around you. Obviously, by implementing AI agents, you remove yourself, at least directly, from the area which you're trying to get the most efficiency out of, which is great when you select that area appropriately, but that real superpower of business owners to their large counterparts is personality. It's the thing that you uniquely bring to the table. With all that being said, there are signals when it is a good time to start exploring those AI agent alternatives, and those typically appear in activities that involve a lot of timing or might be repetitive, such as follow-ups or admin tasks like thank you emails, or even some sales motions you might get into. Because my belief is that AI agents can help you scale your business, but they require a trade-off, which is why I take this so seriously. Individuals constantly get overwhelmed with what AI can do for them in their business, but it's really an exercise of taking a step back, understanding your highest leverage areas, that if you automated them today, would you be able to provide a better customer experience? Now, how do you find those high leverage areas? Because as we just talked about, you're really riding a fine edge of maximizing your time while also ensuring your business doesn't really miss a beat. And I have a 4-step process to ultimately identify those high leverage areas and then ways to explore agents that can ultimately help you solve them. What you really need is just a notepad for this, because in step 1, take 2 minutes, make a list of all your business related activities you do in a given day. Typically that list contains customer outreach, accounting, scheduling, maybe you do some sales calls, and then payroll. And have a list of all of those activities, because we want to understand the processes you're doing. Because in step 2, take 2 minutes, give a rough estimate on those activities about how long they take you to finish daily. For example, customer outreach might take you an hour, accounting could take you 30 minutes, scheduling might take you another hour. You take 2 hours for those sales calls you have to do, and then payroll takes an hour at the end of the day, every single day. What this allows you to do for step 3 is pick your top 3 things you deem to be the lowest value add activities that don't really move the bottom line and feel more like administrative tasks, because then I want you to do something really simple. Research them on the internet and start searching things like scheduling AI agent or AI agent for sales follow-up, something related to the activities you accomplished. Step 4 is the evaluation process. And the reason that I don't just give you the different technologies you use or the AI agents that might best fit is because I just don't know your process. And the good news is that there's a ton of companies, AI companies, that are in an arms race right now to make the best AI agents for the different processes that impact all the businesses around the world. And you have the opportunity to pick the one that fits you the best. That's why if you look up on the internet, face some keywords based on the activities you have and maybe some AI agents that might be able to assist you, you can stumble across the ones that look like it might be the best fit for you. The truth is that you likely don't have a perfect workflow, and you might have to reimagine it and tweak it a bit prior to introducing AI, because we don't want it to amplify those issues after all. But by doing these steps, you have a clear understanding of the tasks you complete, how long they take you to complete, and if an AI agent would in reality work for your business. And if not, now you understand that you have to further refine to do so. You'll notice in this entire video, I didn't promise you that AI agents would change your life or your business, and that is because I don't think it will. At this stage of AI, it's a tool that helps you complete the tasks that you traditionally get bogged down with and hurt the ability to provide that exceptional service that small businesses really need to thrive on. It is not going to be a magical do-all that will allow you to remain hands-off with an army of AI agents building your business. Rather, these agents can be utilized to manage high leverage tasks that effectively give you the ability to grow and scale your organization at a pace you previously didn't think was possible. If you enjoy learning about how to improve business processes within small businesses and leveraging AI to help you grow and scale, subscribe to the Forge and Growth YouTube channel. And until then, I'll see you next time.